In every social structure, from politics to personal relationships, power belongs to the one who is least dependent. You don't notice this at first. At the beginning, it feels natural. She texts, you reply. She needs something, you show up. You don't calculate it, you just think, this is what care looks like. Modern men were given a map. Be available, be understanding, be everything, and you will be loved. But reality doesn't move like that. There was a point where she was still there, but something had already shifted. The replies became shorter, the pauses a little longer. And you don't understand why, because you didn't do anything wrong. But that's exactly the problem. When you strive to become everything to a woman, you slowly become something predictable. And in the world of value, anything predictable fades. The lone voyager does not seek connection by sacrificing personal space. He has seen what happens when a man loses his center. His attraction is not built on words, but on the quiet weight of a life that does not revolve around anyone. It is a world where presence is a choice, not a need. And this is not manipulation. This is a man returning to himself. 1. The psychology of scarcity and the value of absence. In economics, value is shaped by scarcity, but in human behavior, it cuts deeper than that. There was a time. You replied instantly, no delay, no pause. Not because you had nothing to do, but because you didn't want to miss her. And at first, it felt right. She was warm, responsive, present. But slowly, something changes. Not dramatically, just enough for you to feel it. You are still there, but somehow, she is a little less. If you always appear immediately, always present when they need you, you send a signal. Not with your words, but with your pattern, that your time has no weight, that your world can wait, and people feel that, even if they don't say it. Excess presence kills desire, because humans do not crave what is always there. They crave what is just out of reach. The lone voyager understands this, not because he read it somewhere, but because he has been in that exact moment, when being too available quietly cost him something. When you vanish into your work, your mission, your life, it is not to create mystery. It is because there is something real pulling you forward, and that changes everything. Because absence only has value when there is something real behind it. Otherwise, it's just silence. 2. The natural addiction mechanism and the dopamine trap. The mind craves uncertainty. You felt this before. There are moments when she is fully there, engaged, present, almost close. And then she's gone. Not completely, just enough to leave a gap. If a reward is always predictable, the brain stops reacting. But when something becomes inconsistent, present, then absent, the mind locks in. It starts to chase, not because it makes sense, but because it cannot close the loop. The lone voyager does not play games. He does not create this on purpose. He simply lives on a rhythm that does not revolve around anyone. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he isn't, and that alone creates pull. But there is a line here most people don't see. Attraction built only on uncertainty does not last. It becomes exhausting, because at some point, people don't want a puzzle anymore. They want something real. 3. Mental investment and the process of self-idealization. The more someone thinks about you, the more they build you. You don't see it happening, but it happens in the silence. There are nights when nothing is said, no message, no explanation, and yet that's when the mind starts working the most. Why didn't he reply? What is he doing? Who is he with? The human mind hates empty space, so it fills it with stories, with meaning, with a version of you that may not even be real. That is idealization. The fewer the words, the heavier they become, because each word has space to echo. But every illusion has an expiration date. If reality cannot hold that image, it collapses, fast. Mystery is not hiding. It is not silence for the sake of silence. It is depth that cannot be fully understood in one moment. 4. The Stoic axis and internal strength against volatility. Real strength is internal, not performance, not reaction. It is an axis. You see it in moments where most people lose control. When she pulls away and everything in you wants to ask why. When the silence feels heavier than usual. This is where most men break. They text more, explain more, try to fix something that was never meant to be fixed like that. And in doing so, they reveal something. Dependency. The lone voyager does something different. He stays in motion, not to prove anything, not to impress anyone, but because his life was already moving before her. This calmness is not indifference. It is knowing that your stability does not come from someone else's presence. And strangely, the one who needs the least reassurance is often the one people think about the most. 5. The power of ultimate detachment. Detachment is not leaving. It is freedom. The freedom to stay without losing yourself, and to walk away without losing yourself. There comes a moment when you realize something very simple. You can care deeply and still not abandon your path. A man with direction does not place temporary emotion above the life he is building. And people feel that, not through words, but through presence. Respect does not come from how much you give. It comes from the quiet understanding that you could leave and still be whole. Let your presence be rare, but real. Let your silence carry weight, not because you are hiding, but because there is a life behind it. And the highest level of power is not walking away. It is staying, by choice, without ever losing your axis.